What's going on, guys? This is Empty Box, and this is some Battlefield 3. Damn it, Peak Conquest. Gonna be spending most of my time over here in this area, the back half of the map. If you're playing on the US side like I am this game, rocking the L85 with the ACOG, the 4X. I don't know why. I just felt like using the ACOG. Maybe the fact that makes the L85 just look absolutely awesome, especially with the suppressor out there. Foregrip suppressor, L85, pop an ACOG on there or a holographic scope. One of the sexiest weapons in the game, easily. Just tasty. Looks so good. Looks so good. Look at that reload. Weaponry. What? Oh, okay. Okay, on to the actual topic at hand here, and that's really... I don't have a topic, but I feel like I should probably post some Battlefield 3 for you guys, because I think a lot of you guys want to see Battlefield 3 rather than Mass Effect 3, even though I'm playing Mass Effect 3 rather than Battlefield 3 right now. But this game was recorded earlier tonight, and actually I know precisely why I'm using the scope, because a couple of videos ago, excuse me, someone had asked me, Empty Box, why don't you use scopes ever? Because I actually said in one of my previous videos, I don't ever use scopes, and I truthfully don't ever use scopes. And I also hate vehicles, and I want to touch on that real quick, because after the fiasco with the DLC, or what I'm considering a fiasco, that came up again in the comments of that video. But the reason I don't use scopes is because, quite frankly, I don't need a scope. You'll see several times during this game where I automatically just instinctively aim down my sights, and I'm like right there in someone's grill. If you watch my gameplay, I don't hip fire too terribly much, even when I'm using something like the MP7, which is a freaking amazing gun when you just hip fire it. You can literally just hip fire that gun and go like 40 and 5 every freaking game if you do it right. And he can do it right. Because that gun is a beast. It's a beast up close, which it should be. It's a PDW. And I swear to God, if they're nerfing that, and I think they actually are, I'm going to laugh. And then I'm going to go into my next topic later on in this video. But I don't need the extra magnification. I don't really find a use for it. I'm too close. I did see in this game I was getting a lot of headshots, and headshots are awfully important in Battlefield. Of course, giving you basically double damage, which is always a good thing. But I just don't care for the extra zoom. I would like the 3.4 a little bit more, the 145 and 145. However, the sight on that thing is confusing as fook to me. I mean, I know there's the crosshair right in the middle like all the other scopes, and that's all well and good. However, there's also a line above where the gun actually shoots, and I always instinctively walk onto that top line, and it throws me off, and my brain just doesn't like it. It's like, no. That's the noise my brain makes when it gets fried by looking at a scope. Yes, indeed. But yeah, that's why I don't use scopes. On to the other topic, because I want to kind of enlighten, or not really enlighten, shed some more light on my views as to why I do not like the DLC announcement, because I know that was kind of ranty, and I know some people are like, oh, you're just crazy about it, you don't like it. Yes, that's how I think of you guys, who are just total idiots. Battlefield should have tiny maps. No, you frickin' morons. Why I do not think that's a good idea. Besides the fact that it is not Battlefield, and I mean, really, close quarters indoor maps, since when is that Battlefield? I mean, come on. The thing is, it's going to change everything so much that the people playing that are going to have a completely different experience. When I think about close quarters maps, I think of something like Operation Metro. If I'm playing Operation Metro, the you suck at shooting 12... that gun is just insane. It's still insane. even after the patch that toned it down a good bit. If I go anywhere else, that gun's just like, well, okay, it's good. I mean, it's good in its range, but once you get past 30 feet, it's useless as can be. I mean, honestly. So is it a good gun, or is it a bad gun, or... You know, it just goes back to something else. I notice a lot of people in the community are complaining about shotguns. It's like, I've seen people complain about the Saiga 12. It's like, are you serious? Are you serious? Well, it is a magazine-fed semi-automatic shotgun, which kind of puts it above the 1014. The 1014 ain't good at all. I mean, it really isn't. The shotguns in this game are pretty dang crappy. They really just don't have that much range. Really, the only one worth running that's not the USAS on Operation Metro is the 870 or the M26 or 320 buckshot. But not many people run 320 buckshot. Not many people use the mass, and even fewer people probably using the 870 because I haven't been killed by the 870 in God knows how long. Probably since the last time I played Kool-Aid. But I mean, when they bring in these close quarters maps, once again, that's going to make some players probably going to end up playing just on those maps, and they're going to have a completely different experience. The FAMAS, it's a beast up close. But once you get to about 30-40 meters, when you're starting to pop fire a little bit, that gun's not that great. It honestly isn't. It's a monster up close, but it sucks at range. It's a trade-off. The L85 here that you see me using here, it's terrible up close, but at range, it has zero recoil. And I mean like zero recoil. So it's tremendous at range. So what we're going to end up seeing is probably giant balance changes, largely affected by that, because I guarantee you what's going to end up happening is something that's been affecting pretty much every first-person shooter anymore, and that is, it's overpowered, it's overpowered, it's overpowered. Now, I will say some weapons are overpowered. It's not because I get killed by them a lot. It's because you look at it and you can see that they are overpowered, and it's just that much easier to do well with. I mean, such as the USAS before the patch is like, okay, I don't even need to do anything. I can just sit here and lob my infantry fighting vehicle cannon all over the place. Kaboosh, 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 kaboosh. Reload, kaboosh, kaboosh, kaboosh. I mean, you can look at the stats, you can look at the gameplay, and see it's overpowered. But, you know, on the flip side, the UMP and the beta, everybody uses it because it's Operation Metro. You know, the UMP is a 45 submachine gun. It's going to pack some power up close, but the damage drops off pretty quickly. But in Operation Metro, it doesn't matter because you're close in. That gun was basically nerfed for the full release because of the beta, because everyone was using it in Operation Metro, you know, during the beta, and you know, it was a beast, like it should have been, because that's what you should excel at. But you know, in Caspian Border, it really wasn't that great. Was it okay because you could play a little bit easier to that style if need be? Yes, but at the same time, it wasn't, you know, frickin' the God gun everybody seemed to have made it out to be. You know, it was just a product of the map, and quite frankly, I think we're going to see a lot more of that. Changes that probably should not be made, but it's going to happen because, you know, the large maps balance out Battlefield, but without the large maps, you're going to see some real shocking weapon imbalances because the weapons aren't that balanced for small maps. You can't have your cake and eat it too, basically, because, quite frankly, you can't have a small map game and you can't have a big map game be the same game, because it just doesn't work, because things that work for big maps don't work for small maps. So that's that. These players suck. I'm out. Bye.